righty, you guys. What is up? It's been a while since I've done a post-game live stream, or for a matter of fact, a live stream of any kind. So I'm going to give it a couple minutes before we get started, and then we will talk about the Frank Kaminsky game. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. That was probably his best game of his career, and I'm not even lying. And thank you to everybody that's in here. I know that I haven't been live streaming as much as a lot of you probably want me to do. Real life comes first. I'm going to do my best to live stream more often. I'm going to try. So I appreciate everybody that is already in here. Make sure to do me a favor and hit the, don't just hit it, Hulk smash the like button. Absolutely just destroy the like button and share this to your Twitter or Instagram or whatever, Snapchat. Share this, spread it around, tell people to subscribe to Sons Geek, and let me know if you guys can hear me okay. And yeah, I'm excited, you guys. Lots to talk about here. Wasn't the perfect game, but we won. And with that being said, I'm going to take a sip of my water, and then we'll get started. Alrighty, so I got to do my classic intro. Hey there, guys. My name is Brandon, aka Sons Geek, and if it has to deal with the Phoenix Suns, I'm going to make a video about it. That is right, you guys. Frank Kaminsky absolutely saves the Phoenix Suns as the Suns have won, what now, 6 in a row. And you guys, I just want to start off this live stream talking all about Frank Kaminsky. He has been incredible, you guys. I made a video recently talking about how big of an impact Frank Kaminsky has been for this Phoenix Suns team. And I will repeat this a lot tonight, that you could make the argument we would not have won 6 in a row if it wasn't for Frank Kaminsky. He has been huge in a lot of games. And I know that it wasn't just all Frank out there throughout most of these games, but you could make the argument without Frank's impact, without Frank's scoring, just without him putting in that effort and energy, that we may not have won a few of these games, especially tonight. Tonight was not the best effort game from the Phoenix Suns, you guys. And don't get me wrong, we still have a lot to talk about here. Like, yes, Frank had a great game, and we're going to dive all into that. But I said this recently on the Suns Jam Session podcast, and I've said it in my videos. I've said that the Phoenix Suns still have a long way to go. I know we've won 6 in a row, but we still have a long way to go. So let's go ahead, dive right into Frank Kaminsky's game. 32 minutes, 12 for 18 from the field. He hit 2 threes, 5 for 5 from the free throw line, which was the most out of any player on the Suns. Suns need to do a better job of getting to the free throw line, by the way. 31 points. Frank Kaminsky had 31 points, which is absolutely insane. My guy Roy says Frank Abdul-Jabbar. Absolutely. Frank could not be stopped. And there was one play in particular. It wasn't even really just one play. It was like late in the fourth quarter. They didn't double team him. They were just, Portland, come on. Like, I don't care who you are, what team you play for. When a player has like 25 or more during the fourth quarter, you got to double team him, or at least put better defensive player, make a better defensive effort on him. Portland just said, okay, you know what, Frank, you can just score as many points as you want. So 31 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block. I just got to applaud Frank. What a game for Frank Kaminsky. Everyone in the chat, put the clapping emoji. He was incredible. Shout out to Andrew. I really appreciate all your support. Good game. Most complete game we've had in a while. I don't know about that, but it was a good game. We won, but I'm just saying, guys, we still got a long way to go. I mean, this game, just like a lot of games this season, this game should have been put away early. You know, the Blazers are coming off a back-to-back. They're now 5-7 this season, but their defensive rating is really good at home, and their defensive rating on the road is bad. They have not won a game on the road all season. This was just another game where I think that we left the door open, and I think this game was a little too close for comfort. Maybe that's just my personal opinion. But let me know what you guys thought of the Phoenix Suns tonight in terms of a whole game that they had. But so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And if you guys want to, you totally don't have to. Feel free to donate to Suns Geek with super chat. I would really appreciate it. But really, guys, a great way to help me is just to Hulk smash that like button, share this live stream, share my videos, tell people about Suns Geek, and I would really appreciate it. So we'll get back to Frank Kaminsky's awesome game later, but let's start off this game. The Suns were getting good shots up early. They had good attempts. They had good looks. They just weren't going in. And really, guys, I feel like we've seen that a lot this season. And I get it. You know, there's games where the ball just doesn't go in the rim. And I get it. We're not at full strength. You know, no Landry Shamet tonight, no DeAndre Ayton. But it's happened a lot where just the ball doesn't go in the rim. The Suns can't make shots. And then all of a sudden later in the first quarter, it was an 8-0 run. The Suns had good ball movement and they started making threes. That happened a lot this game where the Suns would score, then they kind of go on a drought, and then they go like on a run. I feel like that's how the season's been all season. It's been a weird season. And by the way, guys, if you want to ask me any non-Robert Sarver questions, please let me know. Pick my brain, ask me questions about the Phoenix Suns. And later, if you guys are interested, excuse me, we will be taking a look at the NBA standings, and we'll kind of just be talking about other NBA teams. If you guys want to, I will probably do that later in the stream. But thank you to everybody who is in here. I really appreciate you guys. And again, I promise I'm going to do my best to try to do more post-game lives. So yeah, the Suns go on an 8-0 run. The Blazers had gone up 20-13 at one point. Suns started making threes. They finished the first quarter on a 14-6 run. End of the first quarter, 27-26. Cam Johnson is a guy that really needs to get it going. He started off the second quarter with back-to-back threes. Then all of a sudden, the Blazers went on a 4-minute scoring drought. Now, I've kind of criticized the Suns a little bit for going on scoring droughts, but I feel like that's kind of been happening to every team this year. Teams just go on scoring droughts. It's strange. You would think with, you know, the NBA game being so, you know, full of three-pointers and such an offensive era of basketball that teams wouldn't go on scoring droughts. But I've seen it a lot this season, and not just from the Suns. But yeah, the Blazers went on a 4-minute scoring drought. JaVale McGee had 3 fouls by the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. And Frank Kaminsky already had it going. And that's when Frank Kaminsky stepped in. The Suns outscored the Blazers 33-21 in the second quarter. And Portland started. Okay, Phoenix has been a terrible three-point shooting team this season. But Portland started off this game 0 from 13 from 3. That is bizarre. So remember, as bad of a three-point shooting team as the Suns have been this year, it could probably be a lot worse. At halftime, 60-47. The Suns did a great job of closing out that second quarter. They had a decent lead, but again, as we saw tonight, no lead is safe in the NBA. Frank Kaminsky had 18 points at halftime, 5 boards, 6 for 11 shooting. Also, I've seen a lot of or not really a lot. I've seen a couple of people already ask me, what did I think of Devin Booker tonight? I mean, like, did Devin Booker even play? Like, I'm serious. Like, I didn't really feel like he was really there. There were a few times where I feel like he kind of got it going on offense. And I mean, in all fairness, he finished the game with 12 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. I will give Devin Booker this credit. No matter how many points he's averaging, he seems to do a great job of rebounding the ball and assisting the ball. I feel like that's a really overlooked part of Devin Booker's game. But again, like tonight, 12 points, I didn't even know he's there. And this is a guy that scored like 30 and 27 and just been dominating lately. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of Devin Booker's performance tonight. And speaking of Devin Booker, he only had 7 points and 4 rebounds. He was 3 for 10 from the field at halftime. So not really the best Devin Booker game. And in my opinion, not really the best Phoenix Suns game. I feel like the effort tonight, and it just wasn't really too great, you guys. Something weird happened at the start of the third quarter. The Suns got like a delay of game warning that technically happened at the start of the game, but they didn't get issued for it like until the start of the third quarter. It was weird. Never seen that happen before. CJ McCollum had this, I want to say it was an unintentional drive to the basket, and he kind of got Frank with his arm, but they ended up, shaking hands after the break. But Frank Kaminsky did get hit. I think CJ McCollum got hit with the technical, but Frank still got the foul. It was weird. And then Devin Booker got a technical foul. The officiating tonight was not that great. I know that Damian Lillard hasn't been very happy with the officiating, but maybe that's just because he's off to a terrible start to the season, in my opinion. And, there's that kind of controversy with like Trae Young and lots of other players adjusting to these new rules. But if you're an old school basketball fan like me, this is how basketball used to look. I mean, referees are no longer calling these little ticky-tack fouls. Like players you can actually make physical contact with players and it won't be a foul. And in my opinion, it is great. And maybe that's why we're seeing weird droughts in scoring and not many free throw attempts and not many three-pointers going down and certain players like Damian Lillard struggling. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Let's get to the chat real quick, and then we will continue on and we will talk about the fourth quarter. So once again, shout out to Roy. Shout out to everybody who is in here. Shot Chucker says, you are all witness to Frank Kaminsky. He had such a great game. Frank Kaminsky had a career game, says Mark Jackson. Nicola Kaminsky says Iverson vlogs. You guys are funny. Amanda, shout out to you, says his previous was 27. Yeah. I think he had like 27 midway through the fourth. It was great. He should have had 40 tonight. That's how great of a game he had, but I will take 31. And we already talked about Devin Booker. We got the dub. Once again, Andrew, thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you guys. Amanda says, clutch 3 from CP3, Jay Crowder, D-Book, although Booker did not really look like he had the best game. Yes, I was going to talk about that later, but I think that CP3 and Jay Crowder did an excellent job of closing out this game. I just wish it would have been sooner. I didn't really feel like this game was over until about like 2 minutes left in the fourth. I'm just kind of getting caught up on the chat here. Abraham says, hey, Sons Geek, do you think Frank Kaminsky stats will lower when DeAndre Ayton returns? Thank you for the awesome question. Sometimes I kind of speed through these live streams, so I'm going to try to sorry, I'm reading the chat. I'm getting distracted. I'm going to try to make this go as long as I can. Before I answer this question, let me take a sip of my water. Okay, so excellent question here from Abraham. He says, hey, Sons Geek, do you think Frank Kaminsky stats will lower when DeAndre Ayton returns? My answer to that is it depends on how many minutes he gets and if he is performing when he gets those minutes. Because, yes, Frank Kaminsky has been great. And, yes, in my opinion, Frank Kaminsky has helped win us a lot of games, especially tonight. But let's say DeAndre Ayton comes back fully healthy. Ayton averages probably like over 30 minutes a game or whatever. Let's say Frank Kaminsky gets about 15 maybe. He's got to be consistent. I'm not saying he has to drop 31 a night, but he's got to at least drop 12 to 15 points, maybe get his assist numbers up, maybe put in better effort on the defensive end. He's just got to keep doing what he's doing, and he's been great. His energy, his effort, him scoring, just him being out there, guys. Like Frank Kaminsky, I feel like is a really overlooked part of this team. And don't forget, you guys, maybe it was game 6 or game 5 of the NBA Finals. Frank Kaminsky was one of our best players during that small stretch in the finals. So Frank has these stretches where he plays really, really well. And don't forget that last year, I think we were like 11-2 with him in the starting lineup. Maybe we'll see that again. Thank you, Abraham, for the excellent question. And I hope that answers your question. And we're about 15 minutes in, guys. So make sure to, ask me some non-Robert Sarver questions and leave your thoughts, comments, and opinions down below. I appreciate that. I'm reading the chat. You guys are funny. Mark Jackson says, I don't think the guys have their legs yet. They seem a bit sluggish, shooting and effort. I 100% agree with you. And maybe you could say that about a lot of teams in the NBA because there are teams that are coming off back to backs. And, just it is still early in the season. As much as I've criticized the Suns this year, I mean, we're barely 10 games in, 10 games in an 82 game season. So we still have a long way to go in the season. But I also feel like the Suns have a long way to go until they're back to, the way they looked last year. But I am happy. We've won 6 in a row. Devin Booker's going to have off nights. There's going to be nights where, players like Frank Kaminsky and Jay Crowder need to really step up. But yeah, you're right. I mean, they do look tired. I don't know how the Suns' pace has been this year. Last year, yeah, they played at a slow pace, but I felt like it was kind of quick too. This year, I feel like they don't really get things going until like the second quarter. I'm literally choking on a live stream, but it's been a weird season, guys. Sorry for me choking almost to death. I've had a long day. I've been talking a lot today too, so my voice is a little hoarse. Shout out to Pedro for this awesome comment. He said, Geek, let's go. I had to leave the other guys when you on. Well, thank you, Pedro. That motivates me to want to come on live streams more. I am planning on going live Friday for the Grizzlies game. So unless like an emergency happens, I'll probably be live Friday. Shot Chucker says CP3 loves closing out games. Absolutely. And before I get to the rest of the chat, keep leaving your thoughts and comments. Keep asking me questions. David Ray says water should help. Let's talk about the fourth quarter. Suns started off the fourth quarter shooting, I think, 1 for 6. The Blazers cut it to within 4. It was 93-89 Suns lead. Frank Kaminsky, he had that beautiful post-up mover who went up and under. I think it was on Norman Powell. And then Jay Crowder hit the 3. The Suns were back up at 11. And even though they kind of left the window and the door open for the Blazers, I felt like they were kind of in control. It was just a little too close for comfort. But I was just glad. I mean, they had like a 10-point lead throughout most of the fourth quarter, except for when they cut it to 4. And then this is what I was talking about earlier in the stream with the Blazers putting, better defenders and a better defensive effort on Frank. This was very late in the fourth quarter. The Blazers had this weird late double team, I think, on CP3. And the CP3 threw it to Frank. Frank Kaminsky dribbled it, kicked it out to Booker in the corner, drains the 3. That's the ball game. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like, I love Chauncey Billups. I think he's going to be a great coach in this league, but he's going to have a rough first season. And, really, you can't fully blame Chauncey Billups for the way the Blazers have started. I mean, they're not the worst team in the league, but they're obviously not the best team in the league. I think I said this on the Suns Jam Session podcast. I said something like, your coach was like your biggest offseason transaction. Like, that's not good. Like, they need to do something. I'm not saying they need to trade Damian Lillard, but I don't know how that Blazers team is going to be in contention. I would be surprised if they make the playoffs, in my opinion. And again, if you guys want to, later in the chat, we will take a look at the standings. We'll take a look at today's NBA schedule, and I'll just kind of give you guys my thoughts on, other teams in the NBA if you guys are interested in my thoughts. So yeah, final score, 119-109. Frank Kaminsky, 31 points, 7 boards, 12 for 18 from the field. Chris Paul, 21 points, 7 assists, 9 for 16 from the field. JaVale McGee, Mr. Wild Card, as I call him, 14 points, 8 boards. Sort of got into a little bit of foul trouble. Damian Lillard, 28 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 12 for 23 from the field. Oh, Damian Lillard. I love Damian Lillard. I really do. He's one of the greatest scorers in our game. He's one of the best players in our game. And I know that he's having a rough year. But man, just, I don't know. the whole situation in Portland right now is weird. And, maybe Damian Lillard will improve. His 3-point shot might go up and his numbers might get better. And he had a great game tonight. I mean, 28, 7, and 7 is great, but it's just a weird season for Portland, you guys. All right. So let's get caught up on the chat. Once again, I appreciate you guys all being here. Let's see. JT says Frank was a lottery pick. Exactly. Chris Paul brought that up a couple days ago. He was talking to the media and he said, you guys forget Frank Kaminsky was a lottery pick. And Chris Paul said that Frank Kaminsky is like a point guard's dream because of the way, I think he said something like the way he cuts to the rim and sets pick and rolls and he can score. And he was just praising Frank Kaminsky. And I knew the Suns, I didn't know the Suns were going to bring Frank back, but I knew the Suns loved Frank Kaminsky when they brought him back this year. Does that make sense? I was like, he knows our offense. He's got chemistry with the team, and he's just that extra guy that the Suns need sometimes. And clearly tonight, that was what we saw. So, okay, let's see. Pedro says, wait, you got merch, Geek? I don't have any Suns Geek merch. That was a custom jersey that I ordered. Shout out to Jersey Frost, if you guys know what that is. One day I will do merch. I promise you guys, one day I will do merch. I just don't know when. I don't even have any artwork done for it. I don't even know how to get it started. I don't even know how to get it sent to you guys. I don't know. But if you guys want merch, let me know. Someone says, I'm really disappointed in Booker's performance tonight. I get why you're saying that. I just think it's because he's been playing so good. Maybe if Booker would have had one of those big games, maybe this game would have been done with early. But yeah, I can see why you were disappointed with him tonight. Suns Geek with that rich boy water. Pedro says Frank got slimmer. I think a lot of Suns players have done that. I know that DeAndre Ayton lost weight. I think that was before or after his little drug issue. But yeah, I mean, I think the Suns have done a great job of taking care of their bodies over the years. Yeah, Abraham says we just need Super Dario to return. I agree. I really wonder how this team would look and what our record would be with Dario. Shot Chucker says Cam Johnson says that. Sorry, Shot Chucker says Cam Johnson has been super disappointing to begin the season. I agree. Probably talk about Cam Johnson later. 7-3 is not a bad record. I agree. And I'm not really complaining about our 6-game winning streak, but I would rather have. Okay, a lot of you are probably going to disagree with me here, but I'm just going to say this. I would rather have the Suns lose than have an ugly win. I don't want ugly wins all season long. And I'm not saying we have to blow out every team by 30 points every game. But honestly, guys, we've had some bad wins this year. Let's be real. Remember the Pelicans game? That was one of the worst first halves I've ever seen in my life. So just saying, guys, I am happy that we're 7-3. I am happy for the 6-game winning streak, but yikes. Some of these wins have been ugly. And we just made the NBA Finals, you guys. There should be no moral victories. I don't know. Just saying. Sorry if you disagree with me, but that's how I feel. I've noticed that our transition has immensely improved this year. Transition defense or offense? I'm sorry. My brain's not working right now. Oh, okay, I see. Here we go. I've noticed that our transition attack and defense has immensely improved this year. Yeah, maybe that's why we're kind of playing at a different pace this year. I don't know. I think that the defensive effort and how consistent it is probably what makes the Suns one of the best teams. I think Frank even as a backup, will be great against other teams' benches this year. Exactly. Well done. Totally agree with you right there. And if these games that I'm complaining about early in the season are as worst as we're going to play, then that's a really good sign. Like, if we can keep up this great consistent defense that you pointed out, keep up the great pace and attack, and put these terrible first halves behind us, then we'll be good. So Roy says, Geek, what's your thoughts on DA not playing? Well, obviously, having DeAndre Ayton extremely helps, but I'm happy that we have enough, players and depth on this team to, obviously, like tonight, having players like Frank Kaminsky step up and Jay Crowder, etc. And again, I said this about Super Dario. Like, I would love to see what this team would look like fully healthy with Dario and DeAndre Ayton playing. Maybe this game would have been done early if Ayton was out there and if Booker had over 25. Hopefully DeAndre Ayton's not out for too long. And I hope that when he is out, that he's still working on his game, and hopefully him not being extended continues to motivate him. So, yeah. Let's see. Do you think the Suns should start Frank over JaVale in DeAndre's absence? Maybe. And maybe they should. And look, Jay Crowder was great tonight, especially in the fourth, but maybe they should bench Jay Crowder. I mean, Cam Johnson really needs to get it going. So maybe you need to give him the minutes in order for him to get it going. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Let's see. Someone said the dislike bandits strike again. Thank you, because every time you click the dislike button, it motivates me. I appreciate you guys. All right, I'm actually going to go to my stream and see what the dislikes are looking like on this. Oh, yeah, I saw something too. I don't know if it was real, but it was like, oh, I got one dislike. Okay. It was, I don't know. YouTube said something like they're still going to have the dislike button, but only the creators can see how many dislikes they have. Something like that. I don't know if that's real though. Anyways, Andrew says, at Suns Geek, you should do vlogs at the Grizzlies game. You're the most awesome Suns fan we have in our fan base, in my opinion. I appreciate that, Andrew. Very, very, very nice comment. And yes, for those of you who do not know, I do currently live in Memphis right now. I lived in Phoenix for years and years and years. I was thinking of going to that game, but I do have a real job and schedule gets busy, and but we do play the Grizzlies, I think, in April, so I might want to go then, do like a full vlog and get really good seats. We'll see. I wish the Suns played the Grizzlies more. I don't feel like we play them twice. Oh yeah, they probably play once in Phoenix. I don't know. But yeah, maybe you guys will see a future Suns Grizzlies vlog live from the FedEx Forum. I'd love to go there too. Yeah, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate you saying that. Amanda says, got so nervous when the Blazers cut the lead to 4, as it gives me flashbacks to last game where we nearly blew a 24-point lead. Exactly. Read that comment. Exactly. That's why I've been so critical about the Suns this year. Mark Jackson, you always need blah, 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 blah. Mark Jackson, you always say nice comments, and you've been supporting me for a while. You say, thank you, Brandon, for all you do for us fans. I need to go. Great stream. Well, have a great night, man. Appreciate you, brother. Jason says, you're looking at the ugly wins all wrong. We get through the ugly moments and still pull out wins. That's what you should be seeing. Yeah, but the way I look at things is you learn a lot more from losing than you do winning. Maybe I'm stubborn. Maybe that's just me. But again, I would rather lose than have ugly wins. And I think the players themselves would agree with that. Maybe that's just me. Even if it's a bad win, I think that there are so many people who thought it was a fluke that we made the finals. That ugly wins are still good for the Suns' morale, especially against the top teams. Yeah, we got to win against these top teams, you guys. And again, that's why I really hope that we're putting these bad, ugly wins and bad quarters and halves behind us. I agree that King's game comes to mind when we need to keep pressing on next to end. Exactly. There's been so many times where the Suns have literally got punched in the mouth early and they had to literally fight back. And I don't really feel like there's been like a major safe blowout this year, you know, like a game where we just felt safe the entire game. You know, even then that Lakers game early, our first win against the Lakers, like we were up 30 and then they cut the lead, and no win has felt safe this year, you guys. It will only become a habit to slow down and become lackadaisical. I agree. If Cam was producing off the bench, I'll say yeah, but he's struggling. He shouldn't be in the lineup. Yeah, that's fair, Pedro. But I'm just saying maybe a little more extra minutes might get him going. But I was talking I was talking about this to Matthew Listy on the Suns Jam Session podcast, and I think he brought up the point like Cam Johnson is evolving his game. You know, he's trying to become a better player and do more for the Suns, and maybe that's why he's struggling, because he's trying just to be more than a shooter. You guys agree with that? Like, is Cam Johnson maybe trying to do too much because he's trying to be a better player in this league? Monty Williams once said that Cam Johnson is a starter in this league. He's just got to execute it. He's just got to be more consistent. Chosen. By the way, guys, look at Chosen One's picture. Chosen One says, shout out to Suns Geek. Great fan, great supporter. When are you going to get some merch so we can rep? Guys, I love you. I love all you guys. I appreciate you. Hopefully we can get some merch soon. Maybe I'll just make a whole bunch of these jerseys and you guys can pick whatever number and then bam. Roy says, how are you feeling about Landry Shamet so far this season? I think coming into this game, Shamet was averaging close to 15 points in his last 2 or 3 games. Not the whole season. In the last few games, he was averaging close to 15 points a game. He's been okay, but he needs to get it going more offensively. And he might need to just step up in a bigger role beyond his shooting. So it might be a long season for Landry Shamet, guys. Let's see. Frank was shockingly, I can't read. Frank was shockingly awesome the last 4 games, and especially tonight. If you told me he would be like this last year, I wouldn't believe it. Maybe when the moon turns purple, he's really impressive. That's a great comment. Shout out to Suns Geek for being up the wee hours to bring us fire content. Well, thank you for that nice comment. I do spend a lot of time on my content, you guys. I'm trying my best to put out the best Suns content I can for you guys. A win is always better than a loss. There's no other way to look at that. You and I might have to disagree with that, man. I'm sorry. I don't want these ugly wins, man. I don't want any ugly wins. I'm sorry. If I were a coach, by the way, if I were a professional basketball coach, players would hate me. I mean, seriously, I would have these guys running drills, like suicide drills and all that stuff. Like these guys, if these guys miss free throws, especially late in the game, I'd have them working on their free throws. Players would hate me. I have that old school set mentality. Like oh man. Let's see. All right, so I will get back to the chat in a little bit, but let's look at some numbers here. Jay Crowder, 31 minutes tonight, 5 for 9 from the field, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, and he had 2 3-pointers, which I thought were huge. If I'm correct, those 3-pointers came late in the game too. Guys, let me know how you feel about Mikal Bridges. I feel like he really started off the season very well and has kind of cooled down. He had almost 40 minutes tonight. He only scored 10 points. He did have 5 assists, but he hasn't really got it going offensively lately. We already talked about JaVale McGee, 14 points, 8 boards. Chris Paul, 21 and 7. Frank Kaminsky with the monster 31. Cam Payne had a quiet 9 points. I think someone pointed out in the chat that Cam Johnson had 22 minutes. He had those 2 threes, and I don't think he entered the game after that. It's kind of hard to focus on like every player and who checks in, what minutes they get. So I don't know. Let's talk about the Blazers for a little bit. Norman Powell had 23 points on 8 for 17 shooting. We talked about Damian Lillard, 38 minutes, 28 points, 7 and 7. CJ McCollum, 40 minutes, 7 for 16 from the field, 18 points. Larry Nance Jr., a nice 13 off the bench. And he was a big pickup for them, but I feel like Chauncey Billups was the main transaction. And they, the Blazers have some nice players, you guys. Norman Powell is a stud in this league. If you guys don't know who this is, and I hope I'm saying his first name right, Anthony Simons or something like that. I can't pronounce his first name. That dude is a stud. He was bad tonight. He shot 1 for 9 from the field, but Simons is a baller, man. And Nazar Little, I think that's how you say his name. Really good players, just been injured over the years, but it's exciting to see him get going. I know that Chauncey Billups is a big believer in him. And, they got Larry Nance and Dennis Smith Jr. and Ben McLemore. They got some nice players, but I don't know if this is a playoff roster. I don't know if this is even like an 8 seed unless they really get going, but I don't know. Okay, let's see here. So Suns shot 52% tonight. And anytime the Suns shoot better than 50% from the field, they're going to be a hard team to beat. 11 for 28 from the 3-point line, which was good enough for 39%. The Blazers shot 7 for 30 from 3. 7 for 30, but they did shoot pretty well from the field, 48%. Suns lost the rebounding battle tonight, 46 to 39. Suns had 20 assists compared to the Blazers 24. The Suns only had 11 turnovers, which is really good. Suns with 60 points in the paint, and both teams had 21 and 20 fouls. So honestly, guys, that's it in terms of this game. I don't really know if I have anything else that I, took away from this game. Feel free to ask me some questions. I'm going to try to get caught up on the chat here. Let's see. Amanda says Cam plays great for like 2 minutes and then goes silent for the rest of the game. Very consistent on offense. I agree with you, because I think it might have been in their last game. He had like 2 plays back to back where he literally went behind his back, cut to the rim, scored. And then I don't know what he did beyond that. Now that was like, I think last game or the game before that. I don't know what is going on with Cam Johnson, guys. It's weird. Are we still live? Someone let me know if we're still live. My internet says it's acting up. Connection is unstable. Give me a second here, guys. I apologize. Let's see if we're still live. Yeah, it says we're still live. Okay, we're good. My bad, guys. Sorry about that. Anyways, oh, well, I'm trying to get caught up here. Growing pains for Cam Johnson. Do you think the Suns or Nets won the Carter Shamet trade? Ooh. I haven't necessarily been checking in on how good Javon Carter's been doing for the Nets. I'm sure all the Brooklyn Nets players love him because you got a guy that's in the gym every practice that's going to lock down your best players. Like, that's what Javon Carter is. Plus, he's a bucket sometimes. I think it's too early to tell, but don't forget, the Suns traded away that 29th pick, and I don't even know what, I think it was Day'Ron Sharp or something. I don't know what that guy's doing now, but hopefully that guy doesn't become an all-star or anything, because then we definitely lose that trade. And Landry Shamet's got to be better too. So right now, I don't know if I have an answer to that. Nice comment here. We've missed these post-game lives. Thank you so much for doing this and all your content. Well, thank you, man. That's a nice comment. Double thumbs up to that. Double Hulk smash the like button for that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's see. Daniel, what's up, man? Okay. Just getting caught up on the chat. I appreciate you guys. All right. So let's go ahead and close this out. We've already been live for 40 minutes, guys. A little bit longer than I thought we were going to go. That's fine. I don't mind doing this at all. Let's go ahead and look at the standings. Now, I don't think every game is being done played yet. Like, I'm on ESPN, and I think there's still games going on. So we're going to look at the scores, and then we will look at the standings. Like, I think the Timberwolves and Warriors are still playing. The Heat and Lakers are still playing. So I'm really just going to read you guys the standings as of right now, which they're probably not up to date yet. But let's look at the standings. I know it's early. A lot of teams are eventually going to come into form, and we'll know the good teams, we'll know the bad teams and all that. But right now, there's a lot of weird records, guys. Let me see if I can pull this up too, and you guys can look at it as I'm looking at it. Let me do the screen share, screen layout. I don't even know how to do this. Okay, let's see what happens if we hit this button. Nope, that's not going to work. Okay, never mind. You're not going to be able to see it because I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, I'm just going to read you guys the standings. You guys can listen if you want to. Here's how weird the NBA is to start the season. And shout out to the Washington Wizards. I give them props. I didn't think they were going to be this good this year. They are 8-3. They've won 3 games in a row. Chicago Bulls, who I'm actually cheering for. I am a big believer in this Bulls team. Shout out to my guy, Super Mario Hoops 24. Shout out to Bulls Central. I feel like if the Chicago Bulls can get it together defensively, they are going to be a tough team to beat. I am excited to play the Bulls. I'm kind of scared to play the Bulls too. They had a terrific offseason. I'm not saying they're going to win the NBA championship. I'm not even saying they're going to make the Eastern Finals, but it's good to see the Bulls back. It's good to see the Bulls like exciting again, you know, like I don't know. Someone said in the chat too, someone said Kyle Kuzma is going off. Exactly. Like Kyle Kuzma's playing great for them. Montrezl Harrell's been playing well. They just have a lot of good players. Miami Heat are 7-3. Brooklyn Nets are 8-4. Philadelphia 76ers. Don't let the 76ers record fool you. Shout out to my guy, Romp 2.0. Embiid's been out. Obviously, everything going on with Ben Simmons. They got a nice team over there. They really do. Their bench is really good. So don't let that 8-4 record fool you. Cleveland is a team that I'm really excited for. I've talked about them a lot. They have Jarrett Allen, who just won Player of the Week. Larry Markkinen, who I think's been out with COVID and all that, but he's been playing pretty well. And then they have Evan Mobley. And Evan Mobley, this guy is going to be a stud in the league. This sounds crazy because he's just a rookie, but he might be one of the best players in the NBA one day. He is so good. He's got size, athleticism, length, can pass, and I think he might need to work on his offensive game, but the guy is a stud. He just plays well, and I love what they're doing with their 3 7-footers. I love it. Technically, they're not really all 7 foot, but like they're 7-footers. And then they just have other guys. Colin Sexton, who I think just went out with a big injury. Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, former Phoenix Sun Ricky Rubio is playing great for them. And even though Colin Sexton's going to be out, I think Rubio had like a 30-something point game, and he had like 8 threes. That was such a good pickup for them. That's my Cleveland Cavaliers rant of the day. The Knicks have been struggling. They're 7-5, and they're 5-5 in their last 10. The Bucks are 6-6. Raptors are 6-6. The Raptors started off the season good, but now they lost 3 in a row. The Hornets are 6-7. Oh, and by the way, I was so wrong about the Detroit Pistons. don't ever listen to me talk about the Pistons because I thought they were going to be better than this, but they're 2-8 and their offense is terrible. I believe they have a bright future, but man, they are not good. They have some players, but they're not good at all. Let's see. Shout out to the Valley Podcast. Shout out to Haley. I appreciate you, Alex Caruso, for the Bulls. Yes, Alex Caruso has been a big part of that Bulls team. Agree as a native Chicago, and I can't say that because I can't read. It's nice to see the Bulls be a contender again. Exactly. Oh man, great question here. Sons Geek, what do you think of Davion Mitchell so far? Not Donovan Mitchell. He's talking about Davion Mitchell from the Kings. I have raved about this guy. I love Davion Mitchell. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know much about him coming into the draft. But man, this guy is... If he were on the Suns, he would be like a better version of Javon Carter. Even though he's a rookie, he's arguably one of the best defenders in the league already. Plus, he's kind of a bucket. He can score. Don't let his numbers fool you. Davion Mitchell is a lockdown defender, and he can score. So I love Davion Mitchell. Thank you for the question. I'm pretty impressed for a month or two into his rookie year. Are you talking about Evan Mobley? Cade Cunningham is the GOAT. I think Cade Cunningham is going to be very well. I think he started off the season kind of rough. Yeah, it's Cade Cunningham. He might take some time, but he'll probably be an all-star in this league. Roy says, I feel bad for Crispy Flakes. Crispy Flakes is my guy. I feel bad for him too. That dude is a loyal Pistons fan, but really he's just an all-around huge basketball fan. I do want to get him on the channel eventually. He had me on his channel a long time ago, and it was a great video. So shout out to Crispy Flakes. All right. Okay, so we talked about the Eastern Conference, and I forgot to mention some teams. The Hawks are struggling. They lost 5 straight. The Celtics are a mess. Pacers aren't that good, but let's go to the West. Warriors are 9-1, and guess what? They don't have Klay Thompson or James Wiseman, and they're 9-1. They've won 5 in a row. Phoenix Suns obviously have won 6 in a row. The Jazz are 8-3. Nuggets are 7-4. They've won 3 in a row. Clippers are playing good. They've won 5 in a row, 6-4. Paul George is playing at an MVP level. Paul George, you can call him Pandemic P. You can trash his name all you want. He has been playing great. Grizzlies are 6-5. They started off the season good. Ja Morant started off the season great. I think he's still playing pretty well too. Kings are 5-7. They lost 3 straight. Don't let that record fool you though. I truly believe the Kings can make the playoffs. It's just they got to be more consistent with their wins. And then there's some really bad teams in the league. I mean, the Thunder aren't that good. The Spurs, it's so good to see the Spurs be a bad team. They're 4-7. Timberwolves are 3-6. Rockets have lost 9 in a row, and the Pelicans have lost 8 in a row. So that's my NBA standings watch and my rant. I like to pay attention to other teams in the league. I like to pay attention to the bad teams because obviously we were a bad team for a long time, but I knew we had a bright future. And that's why I'm so optimistic about bad teams. And I like the young talent in this league because the young talent is the future of the NBA. LeBron's going to be retired one day, guys. Steph Curry's going to be gone, and we need superstars in this league. So it's good to pay attention to the bad teams. I know they're not that fun to watch, and I know that the offense might look terrible at times, but I like paying attention to these young teams, guys. So that's it, guys. That's really all I have. I know that I don't do these live streams consistently, but I feel like this was a really good live stream. And maybe look forward to Friday. I'm pretty sure I can do Friday night versus the Grizzlies. So just keep in mind, guys, I don't, I have a busy schedule. I do have a real job and life happens. And I got two crazy dogs, which, by the way, follow me on Instagram if you guys want to see my dogs. I'm always posting them. I might even start up an Instagram page for them. Sons Geek on YouTube, or just type in Sons Geek on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Hulk smash the like button, share this live stream, and share my channel, guys. I would appreciate that. Just tell a friend, tell your grandma, tell your cousin, even if they're like a big Suns hater, just say, hey, check out this guy's channel. Watch him complain about the Phoenix Suns the whole time. I'm just kidding. But I love you guys. You guys are all the best. And just the fact that you guys wasted your time with me, listening to me, I really appreciate you guys. Stay tuned for more videos. Got lots on the way. And yeah, I appreciate you. I'm just seeing if there's any more comments. Shot Chucker asks a question. Do I have a TikTok? Yes. I haven't been consistent on it lately, but I was uploading videos on there pretty consistently for a short time. I don't have too many videos up. I think my TikTok's Sons Geek, or just Sons Geek on YouTube. I'll pull it up. I do have a TikTok though. Yeah, just Sons Geek on YouTube. If you guys want to follow me on TikTok, yeah. So follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram. Hulk smash the like button, and yeah, I'm just seeing if there's any more comments or anything. Yeah, that's it. This was a great live stream, guys. Props to Frank Kaminsky. Great game. I want to do more of these. I'm going to do my best to do more of these. I love you guys. Hulk smash the like button. Please subscribe for everything Phoenix Suns. And if it has to deal with the Phoenix Suns, I'm going to make a video about it. And I'll see you guys next time.